Now, the great face-off of the dinner table scene, Iris is getting agency. She's
Yes.
calling Josh out, for being mean, small. Well, Phoenix was a very funny line. But also, Josh is ramping up because he burns her and winds up killing her. What were your thoughts on that scene, really their big battle, to set up their big battle?
So by this point in the movie, we really want to communicate and portray Josh's level of depravity. We want to see this guy for this embittered, cruel, antagonistic individual, and by this point there is no ambiguity about the moral standings of either character. You know what Josh wants. He wants control. You know what Iris wants and needs. She needs emancipation. She wants control. She wants autonomy. And then again, that is really, really well portrayed by Jack and Sophie. And so this is a case where we're kind of allowing the characters to kind of chew the scenery a little bit. we're going to lean in and make Josh just the most despicable as possible, because at this point, this is not the end of the movie. We still have like another 20 minutes to go. And so we want to build up Josh as more of a villain if we can. So this is the case where we're leaning into some takes where he might be a little bit more broad. He might be a little bit more arch. And vice versa, we're leaning into the stuff of Sophie, where she is really trying to exert control and trying to exert herself in her independence. And yet it's important that, she doesn't fully have command of that yet. She still has somewhere to go. She hasn't reached, the end of her journey. So you still want to give her something to struggle against, but you have to make Jack seem all powerful. You have to make him seem like he's fully in control. So finding those takes, finding those opportunities to make him seem just devastating. And that goes into the tempo of how long do you hold her hand being burned. There was a version of that scene where we could do that shorter. I don't know if we could really do it longer, but it was important that we do that, pretty long to really sense that cruelty. You could make it shorter, but it just you wouldn't feel that how dark he is and how far he's fallen.
And I think it created great tension for the end of the film, their final battle, because we're still not sure if Iris can actually kill him. We still that great line is I know you still love me and you won't do it. What was your thing trying to get the audience to still doubt, will she actually pull it off? And of course with the corkscrew she does.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts about trying to scare us into thinking what was going to happen?
I think it's twofold. I mean, one, you have the linear plot, which is there's the programming component and there's the rules of the movie that we've kind of established. And yet there's also, I think, the deeper, more the things about her core values or her core beliefs. I mean, this is someone that was, like I said, we approach Iris as a human character. And so it's hard to kind of completely eradicate any feelings you might have for someone, in the course of one day. And even though it's kind of life or death, we wanted to make it seem that she's choosing her old life and her new life, and there's remnants of that old life that still are there. And that was really, really important to her. That was her defining characteristic. And so it made sense for us as filmmakers to leave that little kernel of her down there to show that she's not a murderer at heart. She's not cold-blooded. This is not AI gone wrong. This is a character that has experienced a lot of tragedy and trauma over the last few hours, and she's doing the thing that just a few hours ago would have been it's been a complete 180 on her character. So it was important to us to show that tenderness and that sincerity a little bit, without making it a completely bad guy, good guy at this time.
Well, I have to say, my last relationship ended the same way Josh and Iris's did. So you nailed it.